What's going on, guys? It's Kyle O'Hare back, and I'm filming a new YouTube video. And I know it's been a long time since I've made a video. It's been, I don't know, maybe over a month at this point, maybe even close to 2 months. But I have an excuse. I had to lock in for my fight, guys. I had a championship amateur fight, my last amateur fight, and I had a lot of complications with my camp, mainly sickness. I had the flu really bad for like a week, and then I got sick the day before my fight and of my fight, and I've been sick for the last few days. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, so I wanted to film this video. You could probably tell in my voice, though, I'm a little stuffed up still. My left nostril isn't really working, but I wanted to bring you guys a fight breakdown, the full fight. We're going to go through it, break down what I was thinking, different positions, when I got hit really hard because I got clipped a few times, and kind of just my thoughts throughout the round and how I thought the fight went. So it was a really good competitive fight, and let's get into it. So real quickly, I just wanted to browse over my opponent real quick. His name is Bobby Bodybag Smith. Yeah, he was 5-2, and he was the 57th ranked bantamweight in the world. Actually, no, sorry, just in North America. But yeah, he had a pretty solid record. He has a championship for another amateur promotion. That's what this means right here, that little star. So I knew he was a really good opponent. His style is to wrestle. He likes to pressure and wrestle everyone that he fights. So I knew that it was going to be a different style that I faced, someone who likes to walk forward and wrestle. So the kind of game plan going into this fight was a lot of anti-wrestling. Stay away. Don't get in like really close boxing exchanges. Just keep them at the end of my punches. I'm a lot longer, obviously. We look at the height. I'm 4 inches longer, and I definitely had a way longer wingspan. So the goal was to not throw many kicks and to just keep him at range with my ones and twos, and then maybe look for a big like overhand or like a right hook type shot. And that was the goal. And honestly, if I saw openings for my own wrestling, to be on the offense with the wrestling and not let him try to take over. He likes to run people over, push them against the fence, and get the takedown. So if I could be the one to do that first before he could, I thought that would be a good thing. I saw a lot of holes in his defensive grappling and a lot of holes in his defensive wrestling. So I wanted to exploit that. But without further ado, let's get into it. I'm 3-0. He's 5-2. Same weight. Also, I fought up a weight class. I usually fight at 25. I fought at 35. The reasoning, I didn't feel like cutting to 125 because that sucks for an amateur fight, and I wasn't getting paid. So, yeah, I fought at 35. I skipped the walkout. If you guys want to watch that, you guys can head over to my Instagram, Kyle O'Hare. I got the full walkout in there. Let's just kind of skip past all this. This is Mr. Bobby right here. He's a tough guy. He's built like a little sandbag. That's what he felt like too. He felt like a sandbag, solid, short, and really hard to finish. That was that's what I was thinking about, is that this guy was going to be hard to finish. I had a good feeling this fight was going to go all 3 rounds. I never got to a second round in my MMA career, but I had a really good feeling that this was going to go up. Sorry. I had a good feeling that this was going to go all 3 rounds. So I was prepared for the entire distance, but with me being slightly sick and having the flu pretty bad during my camp, which reset my entire cardio, I was a little worried. I was thinking about it. And also, my mouthpiece is trash. If you guys see, they talk about it in the broadcast, but I have a terrible mouthpiece. I'm actually getting a new one sent to me right now by a company. But yeah, here's round 1. I was the main event, amateur title fight, packed crowd, great promotion. Yeah, you can see the size difference right here. You could see just how much bigger I am than him, just height-wise. But look, he is thick. Look at the chest difference. I got a little baby chest. That means something. That's some power right there. Just a little extra power. Let me turn this down a little bit. I also got told in my last fight breakdown to take the music off because it was distracting. So music's off. No more music. But you can see I look a little like chubbier in this fight. Like obviously cutting to 30. I didn't cut much weight for this fight. But yeah, I wanted to stay real long. That didn't really feel like anything. I knew he would be really strong and aggressive. Ooh, okay. So let's talk about this punch. I wanted to land something early to gain some respect. So that's where that right hand came in. But you could just see the size difference, and I knew that he was going to be really strong and powerful for round 1. So it was going to be a lot of just avoiding his big overhands because he likes to throw big overhands with this right hand, and he also switches into it and goes for takedowns. So the goal was to just stay away from that. Pick my shots, stay away. That was my goal here. But let's go over this right hand again. This is probably my best shot of the entire fight. And it was in the first 10 seconds. Boom! Cracked him right there. Yeah, that stunned him for sure. And then look, just staying on the outside with my footwork. Don't want to get too close. And I'm just feinting. Look, I'm feinting that uppercut too. With wrestlers, you want to be feinting a lot of these uppercuts and these shots that come up the middle because that goes into their head and that kind of deters them from just running at you and shooting through the middle when you're always kind of filling that space with something that fills the air. So I'm constantly going to be feinting my right hand, that uppercut this entire fight, and just filling that space. Look, filling the space. I threw a kick, which I said I didn't want to because, look, it led to him wrestling. That was what that was against the game plan, but when you're in a fight, stuff happens. So I threw a kick, and of course, he wrestled off of it and pushed me to the cage. This is not what I wanted to happen because, yeah, obviously I don't want to be getting pressured against a really strong opponent in the first round. We're both dry, and he's a wrestler. He was doing a good job of landing these short little shots. Like, they kind of hurt, but my knees were smoking him this fight in the clinch. That one hit me hard, but my knees were so pointy, and I felt them landing in the middle of his stomach, and I think that's what got him to back away there. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep him at range. Kind of a sloppy blitz right there. Probably could have did that a little bit better. Did a nice little leg kick there. I don't know why I'm kicking again. I shouldn't be. And yeah, this first round, I definitely got hit there. This guy hit hard. I definitely didn't do a good job with my striking in this first round. And then I took a shot because he hit me pretty hard. So I was like, all right, maybe let's wrestle a little bit. And I just wanted to try it out. But as you could see, he's very strong in this first round, and he just tossed me. He turned me to the side. He kept on hitting my thighs with his knees, and he kept on punching him. It was getting annoying. My legs hurt. And right here, I had 2 underhooks, and instead he defended it by grabbing his own hands and pushing down. And you could see that it broke my grip here. It was really good, actually. He gets his underhook back. Doesn't have head position, though, but he's able to just hold me. Just able to hold me. He starts to get his head. He has head position now. Just kneeing away at my legs, which is annoying. And these little pop shots that he's hitting on me is kind of just... He's trying to just wear me down here. I knew he wouldn't take me down, though. So I wasn't... But that knee right there is probably the best one I landed in the entire fight. He hits a sneaky little foot trip on me, but we're not counting that as a takedown. That doesn't count. Because, I get right back up. Landed a short little uppercut there. That didn't really land too much, but he's right back on this pressure wrestling, which I didn't want. And honestly, in my mind, in this moment, I remember thinking, oh man, am I going to lose this fight? Is he going to feel like this the entire fight? I can't go down like this. I'm losing round 1. This is my thought right now is, oh, I'm losing this round. So I needed to lock in. He's kind of just taking away my feet, chipping away, being annoying, doing enough to win the round, but not any damage. I landed another good knee. I still feel like I landed the better shots this round, even though I'm the one getting pressure with these knees. Because after the fight, he even said, too, oh, so he got me in my balls here. Sorry, I'm so sick. But he got me in my balls here. And a quick little fun fact, see how this girl just broke her neck to look? And you see this commotion going on back here? Yeah, that was my mom. My mom was getting into a fight with this guy right here because she was trying to record with their flashlight on. So they got in this huge altercation, okay? And the guy must have hit her in the chest with the rail to tell her to stop recording. And look, that's my mom right there. She comes over here, that's my mom, and she looks at me and screams, Kyle, he just hit me. Hit your opponent for me. Bro, I was like, Mom, what are you talking about? I hear her yelling at me right there, and I wonder if you could see my reaction. No, they cut it. But I looked at her, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you want me to do right now? I'm in a cage. I was so mad about that. So mad about that. I got into an argument with her after, but I let it go because you can't win that argument. But yeah, everyone was like, look at that girl's face. She's like, whoa. So that was annoying. But I shake this nut shot off in 20 seconds, and we're back to it. 30 seconds left in round 1. Feinting that uppercut again, not letting him get inside. But the nut shot was nice because, look, it reset the position. I have a chance to land something. Yeah, I wanted to do a lot of stance switches. Landed a nice check hook there. See, I honestly, this round is so confusing because I feel like I landed, boom. That shot right there, I landed that good. That rocked him. You could see, not rocked, but that clipped him. You could see that he didn't like that at all. So I do feel like I landed the better shots this round, and I landed the more damage. That was sloppy. So, I don't know. Round 1, I thought that I lost in the moment. But after I've watched it back a few times, I could see the argument for me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about round one. I went to my corner, and the first thing I said after round one was down 0-1. I said that to my corner, and he said, "Fuck that. Let's go. Let's win the next two rounds." Sorry for my language, but that's what he said. And yeah, so he looks a little tired. Hands on his coach's shoulders. I saw that and thought that was interesting. But in my mind, right now in the corner is, all right, I'm already kind of tired. I need to win these next two rounds. I lost the first round, so I need to definitively win these next two rounds. So I wanted to, prove something this round. And I definitely was a little bit tired, but I've seen in film that he also fades a little bit. So I tucked in my shorts a little bit more for good measure to make sure I'm locked in. And yeah, let's try to get that round back. Touch of hands. And look, my coach told me to punch the air more, control the distance. As if you hear Demetrius Johnson break down fights, he talks about this void right here. I don't have the lines, but he talks about this void, and that's just the space in between me and him. And I want to keep that constantly occupied so he can't just run inside with his takedowns. He telegraphs a kick there. I easily evade, and I'm just controlling the air, getting my hand controls, landing that outside leg kick, almost ate an overhand for it. And then feinting the stuff up the middle. Nice teep. That one landed right in his belly. Circling off. Well, my movement and but see that little reaction that he gave off that feint? He ducked off to the side. That stops him from coming forward. That's why feints are so important. Almost landed that, but look, that shot right there. So my mouthpiece flew out of my mouth in this moment. You can't really tell because of the quality, but I threw a right hand, and I just missed, and he throws this, boom! This hurt. This was the hardest strike in the fight that he landed by far. And my mouthpiece, you could see it just go flying. And yeah, that hurt, but I'm a trooper. And there's my mouthpiece right there in the middle of the cage. Lost it. But it's okay. Look, I give a good reaction. I clinch, land some knees. That definitely hurted, but we're good. We were able to just regain my thoughts real quick. It wasn't that bad. And ref stops the fight. Puts my mouthpiece in upside down, so I had to stop and flip it. Right there. And then we're back. And then now I was thinking in that break, all right, let me get my wrestling now. I have the positioning on the cage. Once I got my head position, I was like, okay, now I'm going to implement my wrestling. He has that good underhook, but it felt kind of weak. I could feel him starting to not be as strong as he was in the first round. So I was watching someone fight in the UFC recently. I was watching some film, and I was watching them continue to hook this leg. It was probably like Islam or something. They hook this leg, and I really wanted to. I've been working that a lot on the cage. It's just such an easy way to transition into either just a trip, or if they don't fall, I could transition right into my single leg, and then I just run the pipe and drop him down. This guy was a D2 wrestler, and I didn't wrestle in college, so I took him down, which means I should have been a national champ in college. But got my takedown, and I knew that my jiu-jitsu was going to be worlds better, so I should have just been wrestling from the start because I knew positionally I would be able to beat him everywhere. Nice little, just bundle the legs up and pass the guard pretty easily there. And once I did that, I knew I would just dominate on the ground. I knew it was over. But I wanted to land more ground and pound because this guy's hard to finish. And I've watched him in a fight before defend like 30 submissions, and it's crazy. So against people that are good at jiu-jitsu. So my goal was to just land a copious amount of ground and pound, and hopefully the ref would just stop it because it's amateur, and they kind of prematurely stop fights from strikes on the ground. So my goal was just continue to get to dominant positions and land solid ground and pound. I posture up here, land some really good shots right there. He gives his back up to me. And then I've had a moment right here. The only time I tried to choke, I was only going to try something if I really found it open. Obviously, my hips are kind of off to the side here, which isn't ideal. I'd like to be more centered on his back. So right now I'm kind of just probably holding onto his wrist, and I build myself back up. Land some more ground and pound. That's the goal here. And then hopefully he gives up his neck, which right here he did. But as you can see, my head's a little bit too high here. My head's a little bit too high. I need to be a little bit lower, and my head should be a little bit closer to his head to finish this choke because this choke's a lot of arm right now, and I'm low-key tired. So, and I also didn't want to put too much squeeze into this choke. I've gassed out in jiu-jitsu matches from trying chokes too hard, so I wanted to not gas out, so I didn't try it for too long. I didn't want to waste my arms. I knew I didn't have it fully, so I just let go. but wanted to keep on landing damage. So these little pop shots are annoying because I'm hitting with my knuckles. I'm not hitting them with the top of my hand where the glove's covering. I'm hitting him with these knuckles that are just popping his nose, and it's bloodying up his nose. So I felt very good this round, a very dominant round, and then this gave me a lot of confidence heading into the third. But you could see we and him are both like, whew, we're both tired. But usually I wouldn't be tired, but with just the amount of sickness that I've gone through from this camp is annoying. But yeah, that's my other corner, Matt, and this is my corner, Ryan. That's my coach. He was telling me to roll my shorts back up because I had it folded over, which was stupid. But let's skip this. All right, round 3. I'm definitely tired in this moment. I felt my arm starting to be like weak. That's the first thought that I had. So I wanted to come out in this round and kick a lot until my arms got a little bit of life back into them. But I looked over at him and he looked tired. He was like belly breathing. I could tell in his posture that he just looked exhausted. And I knew that my footwork was going to be able to kind of just outdo him this round. Boom. Still fainting. Even when I'm tired. All the rounds that I've done of footwork in my life, in the feint rounds, even when I'm tired, just doing the right things. Just controlling that air, even when I'm tired. I don't want to do it, but my body knows to do it just as a reaction. Just staying unpredictable. Boom! Thudding leg kick. That sucks when you're tired. Your legs are heavy, and I set that up perfectly with a little fake hook. I'm getting his attention up high, and I'm rotating into that rear leg kick. Watch this one more time. I'm feinting. Look how many feints I do before this. Boom, boom. Land that beautiful leg kick and circle back out. Get hand control to reestablish the position and circle out. Throw my 2 as he comes back in. I mean, I feel like this is the round that I'm most proud about because I'm doing the fundamentals really well while I'm tired in the third round of a close fight. So that's what I'm excited about in this fight. I'm still circling well, keeping my hands up, cutting them off, feinting, landing a nice 2, and getting back out. But I'm definitely tired, and my mouthpiece sucks. So it's like halfway out my mouth the entire fight. So it's hard to breathe because I don't know. I don't feel like getting a new one. I landed a nice shin-to-shin low kick there, and I'm just continuing to not let him get a turn. I'm trying to just pop shots, get out, and keep on taking my turn. Get hand control, leg kick, back out. I want to keep on taking his turns away. He does that thing where he likes to just run me over, and I saw an opportunity here for Kimura grip. I saw this a lot while training for this camp in fights, getting control of this outside hand if they leave it behind, and using it to reverse. I'm not using it to submit. I'm using this Kimura grip to sit, and then I'm using it to elevate and reverse the position. That's what I'm trying to do. He's trying to step over to stop me from doing that, and he wants to try to take my back, but I'm going to continue to try to pull that arm out. But he started to stuff it between his thigh, so I pull it out with one hand, and then I use it to stand. And as I stand, I go for it again. He gets his arm out and starts to chase my back. Right here, this felt like just a wrestling scramble, and it was just, attack his wrist. And then right here is where was his big mistake. Look at this distance he has between his hip and my hip. He's trying to hold me, but he's below his grip right here, this triangle, which is a good move, but his hips are too far away. So if you could see me start to vibrate, and all I could think about was just shaking him off. And I knew that he would just slide off me like snow off a mountain. So I'm just shaking. And I'm just inching my way out slowly. Shake, inch, and then boom, I pop my hips at the end, and then he just flies off me. I scoop my leg for the control, get my head position, and then I go for I heard my coach call for it. We worked this a lot. This Dagestani handcuff right here. I'm reaching through, grabbing his wrist, and then just landing ground and pound. This kind of forces him to give me his back, forces him to turn in. So that was the goal there. Boom, take his back, and then I knew this fight was over. I knew the round had to be kind of close to over. So solidifying this back control was going to just win me the fight, honestly. I didn't think I would finish him here, maybe because he was more tired, but it was more about just finishing the round in a dominant way, in a dominant position. And I'm just continuing to just land these short little shots, just staying active. I don't want to give the judges a reason to give him this round for anything, so I want to just keep on landing these little pop shots. Stay in this dominant control. This body triangle sucks for him, especially when he's tired. And he told me after the fight that the shots that sucked the most were these ones, when I had the body triangle on and I was just popping them in the face, right here. Boom. He said those shots were the worst that stunned him because it's hard for him to breathe, and I'm also just keep on tapping his nose. But right here, I knew I won the fight. I was pretty excited, try to get a last little flurry off. Very excited right here in this moment, knowing that this fight's over, and I did it. I fought. Look how tired I am, though. I'm exhausted, man. I was definitely some of the sickness that played into me being this exhausted, but I'm happy I made it through. I'm very grateful for Bobby as an opponent because I haven't had someone push me in a fight so far. So having a guy that's this tough and strong, and you know, I said to him, I said to him right here, I said, I think I got you 2-1 in a respectful way, not in like a cocky way. I said, I think I got you 2-1, and he said, I think so too. That's what he said right there. And I told him, you know, thank you for being a great opponent. You're like, I'm so grateful for you, and you know, you're tough. I said, let's go get some beers after. I just said that right there. Let's go get some beers after. And you know, super grateful. Always be respectful to your opponent. And then right here, I said, I'm gonna go dance. I said I'm gonna go dance. And you know, now I have my emotes. Hey, yeah, hey, catch it, yeah, hey, whip, yeah, and then dab. I had that sequence set up. It's a little bit cooler if I finish them, but you know, didn't finish them, so it's a little less lame, and I'm tired. But got the dub. I knew here that I won. I knew that I won 2-1, and that there's no way they could have robbed me from that. So I'm very confident. And this feeling right here is just the best. Like knowing that you won the fight, and it's feeling good. And then I go back, and I was like, well, let me do one more emote. So I hit the sexy Dexy. And the commentator had ball knowledge, obviously. Let me skip to the decision. So one judge scored at 30-27, and the other two gave me 29-28. So actually, one judge did give me the first round, which in the moment I was like, wow, that's surprising. And the other two gave me 29-28, which I thought it was. When I watch it back now, I can see the 30-27 a little bit more, but we'll let him speak. Bang! I'm so happy right here. I'm so happy for this fight camp to be over and that fight to be over with all the sickness and just the pressure of a fight. Like, it was sick and all, but it's always the best when it's just you get that dub. There is no better feeling in the world than this right here. Look how happy I am. Everyone's trying to leave the building, and I'm like, rah! So, yeah, all in all, I'm going to let this roll for a little bit, but I'm turning the volume off. But all in all, that's a pretty good fight, I would say. I think that I had adversity that I needed to overcome, and as an amateur, I think that's very important. This was my last fight as an amateur, as I will say in the post-fight interview. This was my last fight. I will be turning pro at 125 pounds, and I will be fighting for 247 Fighting Championships, which is the promotion I just won this belt for. It's out in Pittsburgh, PA, if you guys ever want to watch or come support me. But thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. Any critiques on the video, make sure to let me know in the comments. And yeah, I was happy to make this breakdown for you, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.